And from the halls of Capitol Hill to your child's school.
Voters across the island are set to vote next week on a number of issues, from school board races to spending plans. News 12's Tama Ponton taking a look now at what's at stake.
There's five people running for 3 seats.
Even though Cindy Mertz says her youngest child graduated last year, she's still keeping tabs on what's happening in her school district. And she will join taxpayers from across the island heading to the polls next Tuesday to cast votes for school board and budget issues for the next school year. In Nassau, the Garden City School District wants voters to approve money to create spaces for outdoor learning and replacing the roof at an elementary school. Baldwin is asking voters to say yes to money for a turf field, new track, and equipment for the high school. In Suffolk, Huntington schools want approval for projects like gas carbon monoxide detectors at 3 primary schools and a second turf field at the high school. And in Amagansett, they are looking for the go-ahead from voters for almost $60,000 for a new school bus.
How will you be spending that money? What are you going to do to improve student achievement across the board? And how are you going to measure that success?
Michael Cohen, a former Brentwood superintendent, says with school districts receiving record state aid, like the more than $30 billion announced in this year's state budget, voters should be concerned about how their district is distributing resources and raising student achievement. Not issues, he says, should not be talked about in school board elections.
I'm told that there are candidates running here on Long Island on a platform of no masks, no vaccines. Now that's not, the school board has no power, no authority whatsoever in that regard.
Cindy, who says she plans to be at the polls next Tuesday in her school district, agrees.
They are volunteering their time for our kids, and they're getting beat up upon because you're not going to make anybody happy right now.
Yeah, and Tama, some of those board meetings and campaigns get testy, especially as that consultant pointed out over COVID issues. Any thoughts or advice from him about that?
Well, Doug, here's what he has to say. He says that school board members do not have a function as public health officials. So if voters are only focused on those issues that they don't have any control over, we are going to continue to see a lack of focus on the appropriate role of board members, which is on policy and finance.